So I think there's some people who would just be like, okay, so what is the point of life? What's the point? I don't get it. And the point is it is a place to come and experience. Just like if you think about going on vacations or holidays or something, and you want to have different places to go to have different experiences, and so you want to have these places to go so you can create memories and stuff. And that is what the whole point of life is to go and to create and to experience and to expand. And so when you go through reincarnation cycle, which you're always going through reincarnation cycle, whether you're incarnated or not. When you're not incarnated, you're definitely planning your next incarnation. You're always trying to, as a soul, you're always trying to learn and expand and understand self in a deeper way. I mean, that's the whole reason why God fractured itself out. That energy, that being that became of all knowing, all understanding, or whatever. And then when it expanded and it went out to experience itself and created souls and places and planets and life and all that stuff, then we are not our bodies, but our thing that is inside of us, our battery pack. That is our little piece of God that we brought with us. That is our connection to help us remember. It's like our space suit, and then we have this little thing inside, like a tether that keeps us tethered to what is real. And this is coming out to, it's an adventure. It's going out to experience. And when you're in your dead life, then all your friends and your soulmates and stuff, it's exciting to go in and plan these other lives, to go in and see like what experiences you can have playing different parts, playing someone's mom or playing someone's husband or playing someone's sister or playing someone's arch enemy. You go in and you play all the different parts. And this guy who I was listening to, that neurosurgeon guy, he also said something about the something I talk about all the time, like like Matt Damon right now, him attaching himself, like he's going out and pushing, go get these, go get these. Who knows, who knows his awareness? I don't fucking know. Who knows his evilness? I don't know. But now he has, because if he went in and he did his research before he went out, telling everybody what else to do and trying to, virtue shame people, then he would know this is not good for everybody. It's not good for most people. And, he wouldn't push it. And then when he did his research, he would know, well, this is part of genocide. They're committing genocide on the human race right now. So, thing is, with his ignorance, he just attached himself. He's attached himself to this whole thing playing out. So any of the people that he goes in and he pushes, and they're, oh, I'll go do it because he's Matt Damon. He would never lie. Oh, he's a good person. God damn. So then they go in and they get it, and it turns into a disaster. All of that energy that he has, he's attached himself to that. So all those outcomes, he's attached to that. So all these people who are doing these shitty things, they're what you would consider to be a karmic attachment or something. It's an energetic attachment in it, as it is. It's not for. Like if you attach yourself to this dark energy, this dark things that they're doing, then you have to go through and clear that. Life after life after life. It depends too, like of your, this is why so many people are here cleaning up ancestry, is because it will also affect your family. You know, like our little tiny Mengele, a little fucking bitch ass, and friggin' bitch tits Gare boy. Those two, they've got such way more than just them. I'm just talking about these two little fucking pieces of shit, that they have got such an attachment. They're the karma that they're gonna have to clean up life after life after life, and all the stuff that they've left for their family. Like their family, imagine being one of their kids when all this stuff comes out. And this stuff is coming out. I mean, it's coming out all the time. I mean, there's millions and millions of people who know the truth. Like, they can't hide it. They can pretend like they've got it hidden. They can pretend like they've got control, but they don't. And so their children and their children's children will have effect in their physical life from what these people did. I mean, it would be a shameful thing to be related to them, right? And when they die, then they've lost control. They can't go back in and fix this. And they're not going to get to fix this in this life. The ones who are really, really bad, they don't get to a chance to redeem themselves. There'll be people who will get a chance to redeem themselves. There'll be people who didn't really realize what was going on, that just got used, just like the rest of us. And, everybody's waking up to their own reality of what's going on. And, hopefully they had it inside themselves of that inner knowing, that inner knowledge to not go do shitty things to people, like this one thing where, in the Nuremberg trials, because we're going to have a lot of people going on, who knows what they're going to call these ones, but they're going to have a lot of people going on them. And there's a lot of people doctors and lawyers and shit like that, who go in and they're just like, well, I was following orders. You could tell me to go do something, and I know on my internal self, like, I'm not doing that. Just like when they're telling me, go get this, I'm not doing that. I know in my... So if you're not listening to your internal self, then you can be misled. And so these people who are doing, all of this corrupt, shitty stuff, just all of these people who are going around looting and murdering and all this stuff every fucking weekend, like, there's no excuse. It doesn't matter if the world's gone crazy. There's no excuse. You have an internal. Your soul is telling you, this is wrong, this is wrong. You're not getting away with it. You can't get away with anything. That's an illusion. It's an illusion you can get away with it. It's an illusion that you can die and get away with it. That's an illusion. Every fucking thing you do is attached to your soul. So every choice you make, you're attached to that decision. There is a karmic repercussion. There's an energetic repercussion to what you do. And if you are doing things that cause pain and suffering, you're going to feel that. You're going to have life after life of feeling what you created. So, I've said it a bunch of times. If you care about yourself at all, you'll be doing the right things, because you don't want to carry those burdens. You don't want to have to go through life after life after life for the next fucking how many lifetimes of trying to clean up the mess you created out of greed and lust for power. Just listen to those words too. Gluttony, greed, power. I mean, those are all things that we know have a negative outcome. If those are the things you desire, it won't turn out well, ever. I mean, that has been like the things that you need to focus on if you want to create a good, energetic highway for yourself, is to work on yourself, work on your healing, work on forgiveness. One thing too I wanted to throw in here too is that I have for instance, somebody who, a few people, and they have gone through things in their childhood, where they felt very wounded, they felt very betrayed, and whatever, a certain parent, it's all their fault. So think about this. If you go into that life, and you're just a little baby, and you have no perception, you haven't even learned how to maneuver this body yet, and then even as you get a little bit older, you can feel very vulnerable, very, at risk all the time. There's people who can outpower you all around you. And it's a very vulnerable position to be in, especially if you're a super, super sensitive soul. And, when a soul comes in, it's not remembering how hard this is going to be. It's going to be fucking hard. And so, they go in, they get wounded, and then for their whole life, their challenge is to try and get over these wounds, their core wounds, their wounds from when they were a child, or wounds when nobody was taking care of them. In psychology, then, it's like, well, you got to blame this and blame that, and you got to, validate whatever, anything you can come up with. It must be validated. That's your real experience. And to me, in a spiritual healing, is so you get born, you are, very vulnerable. You're going to go through some things. Like I said, you're going to get dealt a hand by everybody who you meet. They're all going to give you a couple cards as a child. And all of those cards, you've got a hand then that you get to play. You get to figure out how you're going to play this hand. And so when all of these things happen, you're going to perceive it from a childlike perception. So if you went in and you talked to other people who were adults at the time that you were a child, then you might get a completely different idea of what was really going on, because it wasn't just the perception you had as a child. You were coming from this weakened position. Other people who were adults around you, they could have a totally different perception. And yeah, they may go in and say, oh yeah, oh my gosh, your mom and dad was the worst. Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe it. You were smacked every time you even looked at them. You were screamed at, yelled at, you were sent to your room. That might have been the hand you were dealt. But the thing is that it wasn't just dealt. Like you went up and you designed this life. You spent time creating this existence because you wanted to learn from what this experience was going to bring you. And so when you go in and you talk to other people who were there, then you can get a new perception. You can get a new perspective. And it may take some of the pain away from what you are suffering. Because the whole thing is about trying to relieve this pain and suffering that you carry from a time that you don't even really remember that well. It just feels painful. It feels scary. You've got wounds and injured. And, it's a lot to deal with. And then you, because this toxic environment, you start, not healing, and you start developing patterns that are bad for you that will make you even feel worse. You're trying to recreate yourself as an acceptable person, trying to fit into the template that they want, their cookie cutter of what they expect. And it can be very frustrating, and because it's unrealistic to be able to do that. You can't take all these different people and make them all the same. That makes no sense. The only reason you would want to do that is because you're trying to deal with them as a herd, like as a group. And that's what they're doing. That's why they want us to all be the same. They get really sick of us trying to go outside and be individuals and not listen to them. Ooh, they really don't like that. And so, when you're trying to heal, the more that you can try and gain perspective over your times. The more that you can accept your challenges as challenges that you wanted. You wanted those experiences because you wanted to learn from them. But you just get so caught up in the pain and I feel so much like it is just this hopeless and helpless, hopeless and helpless. It's just this mindset that traps people. Like, well, this happened to me, I just got the raw end of the deal, I'm fucked. I got born to shitty parents, and, what are you gonna do? Life's over. I'm just gonna go down to the bar and drink myself to oblivion every day and kill my liver and wait to die. It's like, you had so many more opportunities to do other things, to grow. Every single problem that we have is an opportunity to grow, to show self who self really is, and to form resilience and to expand your level of consciousness, to be able to grow past pain. I don't even know if I'm making any sense right now. But sometimes I do feel like I'm some sort of a preacher or something. Like I'm trying to preach this to try and get people to understand. So I'm sure I'll say it several more times and just keep trying to say it and say it and say it to try and get it, to say it in a way that people can really start trying to wrap their heads around. It's just this three-dimensional existence and this three-dimensional, idea of what happens when you die. And, we have, God in the sky who's fighting the devil. It's all just, it's not real. Just none of that stuff is real. And everybody who's waiting, because Jesus is going to come back and save them. It's like, Jesus told you what you need to do to save yourself. It's really creepy too, is because the people who have control, they're very religious. They're, more of a dark kind of religion, I guess you would say, because they are still into sacrificing and eating humans and stuff. Oh my gosh, too. And there was another thing too yesterday. There's another thing that they do is just use us for body parts for their old relic asses. And there's all sorts of, dead people washing up in these floods and stuff. Like that one I said had 600 babies. Oh, so sick. Yeah. And, but it was in China, and there was 3 people left laying on the ground dead. There was a medical bag next to them. All their eyeballs, they cut the corneas out of all their eyeballs because you make $50,000. So that's how disposable people are in certain places. That's what they're trying to do here. And that is, it's been harder to do here than it has in some of the other places, because they've already got those people in such a vulnerable position. And they're trying to put us in a vulnerable, they're doing everything they can, but they're not going to win, because this is not how, this isn't how it's going to play out. It's going to play out. They're going to lose. So, but they are trying hard as hell to, they're trying to blow the fucking super volcano. That just blows my mind. I mean, how extreme they are. I mean, how many what kind of weapon are they even using under there to just keep shooting it and shooting it with this pulse? And do they not have awareness that how many people are watching what they're doing, or like, and reporting it? Like, it's weird. It's like they're so oblivious. They're so full of themselves. They don't even think like us paying attention and watching. You could sit there, be paying attention and watching, and they will turn around and lie about something is a complete lie. And they don't, it's like they don't even consider, like, oh, well, what if they know? We better cover ourselves. No, No, we'll just say it again. They're too stupid. We'll just keep saying it. Who cares? It's like, well, you're going to care. But anyways, the thing is that they've got themselves in such a huge karmic debt. And all of these people that are doing shitty things, you know, playing along with this, they are also, you know, if you're doing shitty things, if you're stealing and killing and all of that, you know, you're fucking yourself. That's all I know. Because you definitely will pay your debt. There's no getting away from it. I mean, life is way beyond. If you think this is all there is and you get away with what you want here, you have no understanding of life. But you're going to find out. You know, that's consciousness becoming aware of itself. You have to go through and do some stupid ass shit so that you can, you know, go in and clean it up for the next 26,000 years, then, and go in and be people's slave, or go in and be, who knows? Maybe they have to go through life after life of being murdered over and over and over and over again. I don't know. They've got to put that back in balance, what they created. And, you know, it's going to probably be different for all of them, but it's definitely not going to be a good time. That's for sure. And all of these people, they really need to wake up to the fact you can't get away with anything. And you should be listening to your internal tell you that, because it would tell you, don't do that. You're going to get in trouble. And that's all you got to do is just start listening. So anyways, I've rambled two different things, and I did not stay on task at all. So, okay. I'll talk to you later. Bye.